YouTubers, Sophie here, and today I want to talk to you about something that is important to me that may or may not touch you or may not give you understanding. So let me just get right on into it. So today I want to talk to you guys about why I became celibate. That's right, I no longer have sex and I plan on remaining that way until I get married. I am not a virgin. Obviously, if you watch my channel, then you should know that I have a son, so it is not immaculate conception. It is not like he just appeared in my womb one day. I did have sex. I have had sex, but there came a time in my life when I no longer wanted to have sex, and I decided to wait till marriage. So let me tell you why this is, and let me tell you why I feel like this has benefited me. So, in regards to celibacy, first of all, I am a Christian, and not to say that being a Christian is, like, I was a Christian when I had my son. So when I had my son, I was like, I've always been a Christian. So I was having sex and being a Christian. But I felt for me that this was something that God personally was convicting me about, and I found out why, because it was hard at first. I'm not gonna lie. Like, at first it was hard. I'm not one of those people who don't like sex. I enjoyed sex when I was having it. So it was very, very difficult. But when I decided to commit to becoming celibate, I noticed that the way my relationships were going were a lot better. For the simple reason that when you meet somebody, date somebody, or go into a relationship, then it's like, if you're always talking about sex, flirting with each other, anticipating when you're gonna have sex, making sexual innuendos to each other, then you really don't get the opportunity to know the other person. So sometimes, I know, at least in my case, we were jumping into sex, and then later on I found out that I didn't like that person, they found out that they didn't like me, or they were just using me for sex or something. I mean, I don't know, or just turned into a sexual relationship. Men that I had sex with, I'm not with them now. And so at the end of the day, when I decided to go into celibacy and I started going forward in dating, then I had an objective opinion, because I was able to see men for what they really are, because I wasn't so busy lusting after them and their body and thinking about what it's going to be like when I have sex with them, that I was able to see men for who they really are. And 9 times out of 10, I didn't like them. If you want to see my bad dating story, I'm going to click the link below. But I went on a bad date maybe like a week ago, and he was trying to get me to his hotel room the first night and all this other type of stuff. And this is what dating turned out to. So I feel like, had I not been celibate and I fall into the trap of having sex with him, then I would completely miss the fact what a jerk he was. The only thing that he was probably looking for was for sex. But I think sometimes when you're having sex, you like remove your mind from what really is, and you just concentrate on sex. Especially for women, women have trouble separating sex from relationships. Men can separate that. They can completely have sex with you and not want to be with you. But women automatically think, oh, if you have sex with me, then that means something more. And so that's why I wanted to remove that aspect from it and have an objective opinion with the guys that I date and go into a relationship with, and understand that, hey, I don't really like you, therefore I'm not going to have sex with you ever. And I also got to wage the men who were serious about me versus the men who were not serious about me, because at the end of the day, if you know, I don't tell people that I'm celibate on the first date, because that's none of your business. But if things were to get serious, which they haven't so far with any man that I've dated, so that they know that I'm celibate. But if things were to get serious and I tell you that I'm still celibate, and you really want to be with me, or if you really had intentions on marrying me, then me not having sex with you shouldn't deter you from not wanting to marry me if you really love me. But the crazy thing about it is, since I have become celibate, I haven't reached that level to anyone, with anyone, to let them know that I was celibate, because that's how quickly they'll disappear, or how quickly uninterested they get, or not even uninterested, or how much they're not willing to prove themselves. Because like a lot of the times they come on dates, they, you know, want to flirt with you, they want to, and if they see that you're not giving the sexual innuendos, if they see you're not wide open for them, then most of them, from my dating experience nowadays, they just disappear. Whereas before, I was being flirtatious, I was, you know, maybe giving sexual innuendos, and that's what kept them interested, and that's what kept them going further. But the only reason why they was going further is so that they can get what they wanted. And so now, since I'm like really wanting to have a conversation with you, and not talk about sex, then they're like, hold on, what is this? I'm not interested. This isn't what I'm looking for. And now I'm able to weed out a lot of the nonsense. And also, since I'm not having sex with them, like when you have sex with somebody, it's like your hormones release and it attaches to that person, especially for women. So sometimes if you have sex with someone, they don't want to be bothered with you anymore. That's why you're crying and all upset and all distraught and all this other type of nonsense, because you attach to that person. But when you don't do that and they disappear or y'all break up or whatever the case may be, it really is like a way to safeguard your heart, because I don't feel any type of way for the men that I have been dated when I decided to not have sex with them. It's just like if they left, I'm like, okay, whatever. They left. They didn't get none of me. I didn't have sex with them. Evidently, they didn't care about me like I didn't care about them. So I'm not getting as hurt as I did before. Like when I wasn't celibate and guys would break up with me or we would break up, then I would be all heartbroken and all this stuff, because you kind of like attach yourself to them. But now it's not like that. If you want to go, then go. And it's a way, like, I feel better about it. I'm not like so distraught or so crazy over guys. And I feel like the guy who is willing to wait for me or who is willing to understand my celibacy is the guy who I'm supposed to marry. I feel like if I'm supposed to marry someone, or if I do get married, then he will understand that, because he will understand how important my celibacy is to me, because that's my way, that's how I'm furthering my Christian walk. And if he don't understand that, then apparently he don't understand me. Because for those of you who don't know, I am a Christian. I do have a Christian blog. I'm going to link it down in the description box in case you guys want to go check it out. But that aspect is so important to me that if you don't understand it, then you're not the one for me anyway. And there's no need to keep going about this whole back and forth. So that is why I became celibate. That is why I feel like it helped me in my dating experience. That's why I feel like it helps me now. That's why I feel like I'm so not pressed for relationships, and I'm actually at peace with the guys that I let go. I don't get upset when guys don't text me or contact me, because that lets me know the type of person that they are, and I don't feel like I'm giving up myself or giving up a part of myself to them just for them to dump me in the long run, a year later, 2 years later, 5 years later, whatever. You know, at this point with celibacy, it kind of makes them put their intentions up front. All right, I hope that all made sense to you. And so that's what this whole born again virgin thing is. It might be weird for some people to understand, like if you already had sex, why would you want to stop having sex, and how can you become a born again virgin? But it really is kind of beyond that, especially in this day and age. There's too much stuff out there for you to catch, STDs for you to die from. There's too many men sleeping with other men and then come back and sleeping with you, and too many diseases being spread around. So at the end of the day, I feel like it's the safe way to go anyway, because that way I know I ain't got nothing, because I ain't did anything to get anything. So that's just also my mentality. In the day and age that we live in, you just never know what people are carrying. And even if you use protection 100% of the time, that does not always protect from STDs and all that good stuff. Every contraception is like 99% accurate, or 99.9. That leaves a 0.1 or 1%. The only thing that is 100% is not doing anything at all. And that's what it is, guys. All right, thank you guys for listening to me. I would love to know what you guys think, and I will talk to you another day, another time. Bye, YouTubers.